Well, usually I do introduction and then I do a summary. In this video, I want to record both of them. I want to give the motivation to work on your dynamic play. I want to summarize what I gave in this DVD, so I want to put it together. So first of all, what is about dynamic play? It's obviously clear that a dynamic play, it's a need nowadays. If you don't play fast, if you don't play aggressive, then your chances to survive in the chess battles is very low. And you have to know how to play it, but also how to play against dynamic play. And this DVD, I am giving you the definitions of tactical weaknesses and critical formations, which are very important in order to see the targets, to better place your pieces and to see the minuses and the position of your opponents. As well, in this DVD, I describe the importance of control over the squares, over the space, over the center, over the files and diagonals. This is very important, and with the appearance of computers, of the chess engines, we learned much more the importance of those space. Computer is always trying to take space from you, to take new squares, to take under control, to take new diagonals. So that's exactly about the key part of the dynamic play. That's exactly what we should do ourselves and to learn from the computer. So that was one chapter dedicated to improvement of our pieces, taking the control over the squares, better centralization of the pieces, better coordination. And that's really very important for dynamic play. Of course, any dynamic play sooner or later, is about moving the pawns, pushing the pawns, and using the pawns in the dynamic play. In the last chapter, in the King's Indian, we saw many times that this pawn attack with b5 is very important, in King's Indian specifically. But there are many other typical plans connected with the pawns. Of course, we saw the strikes in the center when black is playing some e5 breaks through, or d5 is white. So this is also typical play with the pawns. You have to, in order to be successful in dynamic play, you cannot play without the pawns, and this was important part of this DVD as well. We described how to use this and the practical examples. Most of the examples are from my own games, so I know what I'm talking about. All my life I did play this dynamic type of chess. I was active thinking. Even sometimes I remember I had a situation when after some tournament I made an analysis of my games, and I think I sacrificed in all the games I played. So maybe sometimes it's too much. So then I told myself, okay, cool down, and it worked. So next tournament I sacrificed much less, and my result went up. But it's not the case. Of course, you have to sacrifice when needed, not when you simply want to sacrifice just because of sacrificing. That's a very important core part of dynamic play. That's the sacrifices, especially when you are in attacking the king. You want to destroy the king's position. That's very important to know how to sacrifice, how to measure the risks. And by sacrificing something, of course, we buy time, first of all. Also, what we do, we destroy his position. So we create a superiority, a majority on special part of the board, where he cannot be in time to bring the rest of the pieces. He has pieces, but it's not enough for him to bring them on time. Just now I played some Bauhaus game, chess. I didn't play it for maybe 40 years. So I was not very good in that. And at some point I was left with with couple of queens, rooks, pieces, pawns, everything, but I'm under attack and I cannot use these pieces. So exactly same happening when we have a successful attack, and our opponent, he might have everything on the board, and we saw many examples in this DVD when this material doesn't help him to survive, because the attack on the king, usually on the naked king on the king which is alone, it's very strong. Even we don't have material, but we have enough material to checkmate the king. That's the most important. So the sacrifices are very important element of dynamic play, and we have a lot of examples in this DVD about sacrifices, how to sacrifice, and how to measure your risk, how to calculate how many tempos you have in order to succeed. Sometimes you can see that your attack is slow and he can be fast in order to defend, so maybe you keep the sacrifice for the next time. You don't do it immediately. So better prepare it. But as an element, as a core element of advancing, of course, sacrifice should be in your portfolio, and also you should train this specifically typical sacrifices. So it's much easier to take a decision when you already analyzed this, when you already saw this type of ideas. So it's much easier to calculate, to understand what is going on. For example, we saw this sacrifice on f4, this typical sacrifice. After this, even this couple of games which I show you here, you already have an idea when it works, when it not, what is not working. If, for example, Kamsky would see it before, or Petrosyan, then definitely their decision would be much of a better quality. They would not take this pawn on the 4 and giving their black square bishop, for example. So this is also important part of our training, to try to learn dynamic ideas, to typical ideas, to build up the repertoire, opening repertoire accordingly. Of course, sometimes, as I advised in this DVD, sometimes we can go for the normal openings like e4, e4, e5, d4, d5, positional openings. But sometimes we should have those days when we want to play active, when our opponent, maybe, for example, for him it's very unpleasant to play against Sicilian or against King Indian, or I don't know, against Benoni. So then we might have those type of openings in our repertoire in order to strike and to try to fight for the initiative from the very beginning. So that's all about dynamic play. This is very, very general notion. I mean, you can talk and can learn a lot about this by studying the games of very dynamic players, like I mentioned in this DVD, like Kasparov, Polgar, Alexei Shirov. Of course, I have the chance to work with all these players, and I was lucky to train with them together. So I can appreciate that they are really, really very strong dynamic players. You can learn it from their games, and there are many others like Mikhail Tal, I don't know, Veselin Topalov, and many youngsters nowadays who are also very active and very talented tacticians. So dynamic play, it's something which we should always learn, but I think it's first of all, it's about active thinking. If you have this active thinking, this will help you not only in your chess career, but also in your life, because you will see much more possibilities, you will look for it, and that will definitely make you stronger and more successful. So I wish you good luck with your dynamic play, and enjoy watching the DVD, watching the games, and good luck in chess.